like Brandy Melville, I think. Hello all, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a little chatty video for you all today, and it is a why did I quit Brandy Melville slash like what's it like working there. I know that Brandy Melville is a popular store, and I feel like it just recently got even more popular, but it's a very popular store, and I recently stopped working there, and since it is a popular store, I just decided to tell you guys a little bit about you know, how I got started there and my experience working there and why did I quit, and you know, if like recommendations if you guys want to work there or not. Oh, there's the siren. Okay, so just a little like disclaimer, I guess. I'm not trying to bash the store. This is not a bashing video. I'm not trying to bash the company or anything like that. I'm just telling you guys my experience at working at Brandy Melville, so you can either like it or don't like it, but this is just all real. This is all facts. I'm not going to use anyone's name. I'm not going to tell you which location that I worked in, but I'm just going to give you all just like kind of like a cute little quick chatty video about my experience working there. I started working there about 2 years ago, and I had never heard of the brand. I found the company on Indeed. I had never heard of it. I just thought like it was just like, hey, we're looking for managers. I'm sweating at the top of my lip. It's that hot. They were just like, oh, we're looking for managers, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. At the time, I was working at Anthropologie, and that store was just like a little bit too mature for me. Not like necessarily the clothes, but like the women there. They were like all moms, and I kind of felt, and they all made me feel so comfortable, but I just kind of felt like, you know, I was a little bit too young for that store. So I felt like Brandy Melville was just like a little bit more on like my side, my age range kind of. So I went online and I applied, and I got like an email about a couple days after, and the person that hired me, she was the like store manager of like both like 2 locations. So the first time she hired me, the first time she asked me to come in, so I'm thinking it's gonna be like a one-on-one interview, but it wasn't. She asked me for a picture of like myself in my outfit, and I filled out like a quick 2-minute application that just asks for my name, my availability, and like my Instagram and things like that. So that was like quick and easy. I thought it was kind of weird that they needed my picture. So then I should have known like it might have been like kind of like a superficial store, because last place I worked at where they took my picture was at American Apparel, and that store was a very superficial store that you had to like look a certain way. But yeah, they took my picture, and my interview, well, like that around that time it was like 7 o'clock at night, and I never came to a store for an interview at 7 at night, so it was kind of weird. But I think they were doing like an overnight there, so I guess that was the only time the manager was like available, so whatever. So she took my picture, I filled out the application, and then I got an email about 2 days after saying that I had got the job. So I was really excited. I quit Anthro, I started working there, and the first week it was like it was great. Like I enjoyed it a lot. Like I came home, I like told my friends about it. I was like, oh yeah, it was fun, it was chill, it was cool. I liked the vibe of the store. At the time, the rule, it wasn't as strict as it is now, but it used to be like really chill. Like as long as you're doing your work, then that's really all that matters. It was a lot of young girls working there. At the time when I started, I was 23, and like a lot of the girls that were working there were like still in high school, and like I think a few freshmen, sophomore, and juniors in high school, and some seniors. So I was like one of 2 girls that were like in our 20s, and the other girl who was in her 20s, she was actually like a visuals person who goes from different stores. So technically I was the oldest one in the store, and so that was kind of weird at first, but luckily like a lot of the girls were like really nice, they were really helpful, they were all like beautiful, and just like pretty and like young and like outgoing. The first week was good. On my first day, The store was really small, so like there wasn't much, you know, to do. I think I got started in about September-ish. I'm gonna say August. Like, so yeah, like it was like back to school month, so like it was busy, but it wasn't like that busy, but it was still like kind of busy because kids were shopping for back to school. So I applied for the manager role, so I was a key holder then. And if you guys know what a key holder is, it's like a manager on duty. So if the store manager is not there, then they're like, you're the person in charge of the store. So I was the key holder, and like my job duties was to just open the store, open the registers, and either close the store and close the registers and make sure like everyone's doing their work and stuff like that. Easy, light work. So the first day I got trained, I had been a manager plenty of times before, so like I kind of knew already what to do. It's just that their system was a little bit different, but like, you know, I still wanted to take in everything. And this really, really nice girl like helped me out. And then they kept saying that this other girl was going to come in and get more in like depth with training me, and I was like, all right. And so the other girl comes in from high school. I think she just came from class or something. And every job has that job where there's like a girl who thinks she knows everything, and like she thinks she runs the store, but she literally gets paid the same amount as you, and she has the same job description as you. So that was the girl. Like every job has that one girl that thinks she runs the whole show when she really doesn't. So yeah, so she came in, and I could tell like she wanted me to be like intimidated by her, but I wasn't. One, because I was older than her. She was like 16 at the time, and I was 23, so like she did not faze me, but I know she wanted me to be like intimidated or like afraid of her. I'm not afraid of anybody but my mama and God. So I was like, all right, she's doing a little much, but you know what, hey, she's probably been here longer than I have. As long as she doesn't disrespect me, we cool, we Gucci. So she was kind of training me and stuff like that. First week was good, it was easy. Then like starting in like the fall, winter, the store started becoming a little bit slow because like no one really likes to shop in the winter. So like it was really slow. It was like kind of dead at times. We had seats behind the register at the time, so we could like sit down if there's like no one in the store, and if there's like nothing to do or anything like that. So the rules were just really chill, like very chill at the time. But let me just tell you guys like a typical day of a key holder at Brandy Melville. So you come in, unlock the door, count registers. We had two, so I counted both registers. The next employee comes in around opening time, or maybe like an hour after opening, which is like usually a sales associate. Usually stick them in the fitting room, and I'm usually like the person behind the register. And then by afternoon, more like maybe another person, like another sales associate comes in, or another key holder comes in, which is the closing key holder. And then you go on break, and then you clock out. On a typical weekday, it's pretty like slow. On Saturdays and Sundays, and sometimes like Fridays, are really busy, and our store was small and cramped. So like when it got busy, it felt like you were sardines inside of the store. But yeah, like when it was busy, I liked when it gets busy because I worked in New York, and I love just fast-paced movement rather than like just slow, like waiting for something to do. So yeah, so that's a typical day of Brandy. Opening, closing Brandy is a little bit different. You have yourself, maybe one or two other sales associates, and you guys are just folding around, making sure the store looks good, throwing out the trash. I'm closing the registers. When I'm done, I help them out. Boom. That's a day working at Brandy Melville. There's really nothing much to it. So it's really just light work as long as you do your job. So then after like, you know, December and stuff, the next year comes along, and things start slowly changing. The rules start getting a little bit stricter. We started getting more visits from like higher up, like district people, and of course people who work in district, a lot of the times they're very just like very rude, especially the ones coming from New York. And there's this one girl who'd always come in with her little puppy, and she would just come in, not say hi to anyone, just do whatever it is she did in the store, and just like not say bye to anyone or anything. Or I'd be like God forbid I asked her a question and she would just like snap. So yeah, we'd get more frequent visits from them. They would tear up the store, like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, blah blah blah. So that was just like a lot, like that was a big part of it that I didn't like, is like the communication was just really bad. Like I thought it was really bad. So then we started changing store managers because the manager that owned both of the stores realized that she needed an extra help. And I was like, oh, maybe I could be like a good contender because, you know, I'm mature and I've managed stores before, so maybe, you know, I'll be like the next store manager. So like I worked really, really hard to show that I could be a store manager, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, wait a minute, actually, if they give it to me, like I'll take it, but if not, it's totally fine because I don't want this as my career. I'm just here to make money, to pay my bills, and to go home. I really don't want to make this a career. So come to find out, they gave that girl that I told you guys about earlier that thought she was like in charge of everything, that wanted me to be intimidated by her, they gave her the store manager position. So imagine you being in your 20s or your mid-20s and you're being managed by a 16-year-old. Exactly, it sounds so ridiculous. So that bothered me because I thought at least like they would give it to me or someone who's more mature than a 16-year-old girl to try to manage the store. Like, yeah, she's been here for a while and she's like obsessed with the company, but that doesn't mean that she's a better manager than me when I have more experience. But I was like, all right, you know what? Brandy's not my life. I'm just here to work, make money, and leave. So I was like, all right, you know, that's fine. She could be the store manager, whatever. She's been with this company more than I have, so whatever. I don't have a problem with that. But that manager position went straight to her head, and she just turned into this. She was bad before, but then she turned into this just monster. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, her head got so big. And she just became just this mean girl. Like those type of girls that you just don't like to talk to in school, like that type of girl. So I was just like, oh my gosh. And it wasn't necessarily towards me because she knew I wasn't having that, but it was to other sales associates. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this girl is like evil. And I didn't like seeing her doing that to other people, like at all. Like it almost felt like she was doing it to me. And seeing someone like talk down to someone, it's just like, I don't know, that bothers me a lot, especially when like someone else is not defending themselves. So yeah, so she became manager and she took that to the head. And then one of the new girls, we got a couple new girls, and one of the new girls, she went to the same school as the girl that became manager. And she was saying like that the girl who became manager, she like is very standoffish in school. Like no one talks to her. She sits in the lunchroom by herself, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. And that explains so much because of her personality. I wouldn't want to be around her either. And but mind you, I was always nicer. Even if she would like said something a little bit slick, I was always nicer. I always did what she wanted. Even though she was a store manager and she was 16 and I was older than her, I still like respected her. You know what I mean? So the girl that she went to school with, she told me that the new store manager had some kind of burn book on all the girls that worked at the store. How childish is that? I was like, girl, you lying, stop playing. And then she goes on her phone, because mind you, the girl that became store manager, she like used to be friends with the new girl, but then the new girl saw that like the store manager was acting crazy, you know what I mean? So she was like, this is what she really, like, this is how bad this girl is. So she sent me a text of a list of just like each of our pictures and our names and our age and just a disgusting comment under each of our names. And I'm like, this girl has no life. Like, you literally spent time and like took our screenshotted our picture and our age and our name and like gave us like a fact and a deets, like a nasty fact or whatever detail about us that you didn't like about us, and you sent it to the new girl that you went to school with to cut. Like, how childish is that? You know what I mean? So of course I scrolled straight to my name. And she was just like, this is Vanessa. She used to work at American Apparel, blah, blah, blah. She is like the dumbest girl you'll ever meet in your entire life. And I'm like, what did I ever do to this girl? I was always nice to her. Like, I felt like Boo Boo the Fool because I'm over here nice to this girl, but she's really like saying all this crap about me. And that's when I was just like, you know what? I gotta keep my eye on this girl. Once I like read and saw what she read about, like what she said about each person, I was livid, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, okay, she wants to be that sneaky mean girl, I can do the same thing too. And I almost feel bad because I wish I didn't stoop down to that level, but it was to the point that I just wasn't even respecting her anymore. Like, she would tell me to do something, I wouldn't be like, okay, yeah, sure, like how I usually do. I just take it and do it, like, you know, like stuff like that. And I guess she started to realize that I wasn't like as like, oh yeah, I'll do that for you, like, sure. And so she told like the old store manager who worked at the other store, because they're like best friends, so of course that's how she got the job too. They're like best friends. And she told the old store manager that I guess I wasn't respecting her anymore, something like that. So then I was like, you know what, I can't take this anymore. Like, I can't sit here and be fake. Like, I don't like this manager, I don't like this girl, like, I have to say something. So and it wasn't just me, it was all the associates. We all would just talk about how much we did not want to work with her, how mean she was, all the things she was saying. She was even saying stuff about her own friend, the store manager at the other store. Like, I had text messages, I had proof, I had everything. And I went and told the old store manager that manages the other store, I told her that. I was like, hey, this is what so and so has been doing and saying. She even made this like burn book, like, I feel like I'm in high school again. And I was like, she's even talking crap about you, like, what should we do? And then the girl's like, all right, I'll talk to her about it, I'm just so disappointed, like, that's not okay, she's not supposed to do that. And then like a couple days after, they're like having drinks, like, and this is all social media, thank God for social media, because the proof isn't social media. They were out having drinks, so clearly everything that I said and everything I was standing up for the girls, it went through my old manager's head and out the other, because they were still friends or whatever. And then the girl that made the burn book, she was like, oh, like the new manager, she was like, I'm sorry, I was stupid, I should never done that. And I took that apology, wiped my butt with it, and threw it out because I knew it meant nothing. So I was just like, yeah, it's okay, you know, I wasn't buying it one bit. I know she only apologized just to keep her job because she was obsessed. She's still obsessed with Brandy Melville. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Then a couple months passed by, everything's like good, you know, it's even, it's good. And then it just starts getting worse again, and she's just even worse than what she was before. And it wasn't towards me, because I was considered the cool manager. Like, I was very chill, kind of let everyone work, but like do whatever they want, but like still work at the same, like, we had a good function going. Everyone loved me, so everyone would always come to me and vent to me about what that girl, I almost said her name, what that girl would, like, the store manager would do to them. And then one of the girls told me that it was to the point that she went in the bathroom and started crying because of how mean the store manager was to her. And that's when I lost it, because that girl who was crying, like, me and her were dumb tight, or we still are, my girl. And once she said that, I just I lost it, and I couldn't take it anymore. And then so the store manager, the mean girl, she went on vacation, right? She came back and she noticed the store was like a little bit different. And because, you know, we like to do visuals and stuff around the store, you know, when there's nothing to do. But that time we were getting like 15 boxes, and just me and this one other girl working every single day, and it was busy, so there was so much to do. So we didn't really censor as much because our censor machine wasn't working. So we were like, okay, we're not going to really censor because our censor machine is not working, and people were stealing anyway, so we're like, we'll censor later. So she came back from vacation, she saw that a lot of things weren't censored. The girl came up to me and she was like, why isn't anything censored? And like, I was like, wait, is she talking to me like I'm some like little kid or something? And I was like, well, do you see how busy it is right now? And I'm literally running around my chicken like a chicken with their head cut off, trying to do 10 things at once. And you're coming at me from your little Miami vacation. You're telling me why this isn't done, why this isn't done. When you don't see me just standing around like scratching my head, I'm literally working. I was the hardest worker in there. And I just dropped the clothes, went in the bathroom, called my boyfriend and my sister, and I was just like, I'm walking out. And I walked out of the store, I walked out of my shift, grabbed my stuff, and I just left. And I couldn't take it anymore. And then a couple days later, I put in my 2 weeks because I was just like, I cannot deal with someone like this. I'm in my 20s. I want to focus on my career. I don't want to have to deal with this like little girl drama BS. You know what I mean? So this is just not the job for me. And I put in my 2 weeks, and then I just quit. On my last day, I was just doing whatever I wanted. And then I quit. I couldn't take it anymore. And I just felt so bad for all the girls who still have to work there. And it's just horrible. There's so many things that happen. If I were to tell you all the things that happened, this would be such a long video. So I'm trying to make a long story short. But it was literally, it started off, you know, pretty high, and then it just went so low. And if you would like read the reviews on Indeed, you'd see that that girl is just like a monster. And you would see all the complaints from customers because she's just not a nice person. I'm like, do you have to be like an itch to work at Brandy? Do you have to be stuck up? Do you have to be like, why do these girls act like this, you know? And it's just so cliquey. And it's like, if you don't know, like if you didn't work with the person for a while, like they're not gonna really talk to you. Like every time I get a new girl, I was always happy, like, hey girl, I'm Vanessa, you know, if you need anything, you know, I got you, I'm the manager. But like her and her, like the other managers, like they were just stuck up and cliquey and young and just like immature. It was just like, that was not the place for me at all. And to be honest, I wouldn't wish that, especially that location, on my worst enemy, because it was horrible to work there. And I realized after I quit, a domino effect of people started quitting after. But it was really bad. Would I ever work there again? No. That is a big question. I would never work there again. Do I recommend you guys working there? If you're like young and you're like in high school or middle school, I would say like do it just for like easy, quick money. But if you're like in your 20s, you know, and you're like, oh, I need some money just to make a paycheck, I wouldn't work there, because those little girls are nasty and evil. And I remember this one time, this customer like saw me, I was the only one like working, running around the store, like doing things, and the other girls were just sitting behind the register just like, oh my gosh, yeah. The customer was just like, why are you the only one working and they're not? And I was like, child, this is every single day. And even though I was a hard worker, it just, like, no one acknowledged it. And it was just so, like, none of the employees acknowledged it, because it's like they're so cliquey. All they do is like create group chats and just talk crap about the other employees. And it's just like, I felt like I was in the Mean Girls movie, but like the modern days Mean Girls movie. And I didn't like that, because I'm such a nice person, and that environment was just too toxic for me. But like I said, if you want to work there, I recommend, if you're like in middle school, high school, that it's like a cute little job to work in. I'd rather shop there than work there, but it's just not for me. It was one of the worst jobs I ever had in my life, and that experience taught me so much. I definitely got a lot stronger. I used to be such a weak little girl that would have like people walk all over her, but that job made me have more of a backbone and stand up for myself, and even stand up for the staff that were all getting like harassed by like the store manager. So yeah, but that was my experience working at Brandy Melville. There are some highs about it. It's a very, like, you know, it's very open. Like, if you're a manager there, you get to, like, you know, do the mannequins. I love working on visuals around the store, making the store look pretty. I loved working on the window display. Like, that was like my favorite thing to do. So like, you get to do cool stuff like that. Every day, like, they have to take your picture of your outfit, so, which I thought was kind of weird. But I love taking pictures, so like I didn't care. But every day we'd have to take a picture of our outfits and send it into management, and then take pictures of customers' outfits and send it to management, which is weird. I just don't like that. But like I said, I love taking pictures, so I didn't care. But yeah, so there were like highs and lows, but it's definitely more strict now than it was. I said stricter, I don't think that's the word, but it's definitely more strict now than it was before. But yeah, I just wouldn't work there again. No, I'll pass, thank you. Another thing I like about it too is that you can wear whatever you want, so that's another cool thing. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this wasn't a long video of me ranting and venting, but I just wanted to tell you guys my experience. Like I said, there's so much that happened, so this would be like a 45-minute video, but that was just like a couple of moments in working there that I was just like, all right, I gotta go. So if you guys have any questions, you can definitely put them in the comment section. I will answer them as truthfully as possible. Like I said, this wasn't to bash Brandy. It's such a cool like store. The vibes are cool. I call it a basic store because I feel like a lot of girls have a lot of things in there, but like including myself, because I did work there for 2 years, but they have some cool stuff in there, and it's a great store to shop in. And thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys real soon. Don't forget to like or subscribe.